Hey guys, Mr. Short Hitter here. I'm on the exploratory phase about this driver. I'm having some questions in my mind whether this is going to fit for me. So I'm just kind of exploring, and I'm just going to move around some lofts, and we're not going to have any numbers. Essentially, I'm just trying to see if there's something that I can develop a nice pattern with that suits my eye. So we'll go to 8.5. We'll hit 2 balls at 8.5, and we'll hit 2 balls at 9.5, 2 balls at 10.5, and then we'll repeat the process. 4 balls in each, and we'll see how many we hit in the fairway. Okay, that's 2 at 8.5. We'll do 2 at 9.5. You know, I think so much of golf is kind of your comfort level and what fits your eye. You know, certain holes fit your eye. Looking down at the club at a different loft can fit your eye differently. I did hit those 2 drives with the 9.5 pretty well. And the 8.5 was pretty awful, but we'll do this outdoor testing and then we'll see what the numbers look like inside. A lot higher, but I'm not sure. We'll look inside. Just a little high on the face there also. So now we're going to repeat the process. Then we'll go up there and take a look at how many of these balls are in the fairway. Guys, that was at 8.5. It was pretty low, but I hit that ball really well. Hit that ball really well also. There's another one that was hit really well. It's getting dark, so I couldn't see that one, but felt really good. So let's get to 10.5. I know in the comment section, some guys are going to be all over me knowing this isn't the most scientific test. But again, like I said, you really, in golf, it's kind of what suits your eye, makes a big difference. If it doesn't look right to you, you don't make the same swing at the ball. That one felt really good. Okay guys, I'm going to see how many of these balls are in the fairway. Give me a minute. I know this test is far from scientific. Nonetheless, I think it is an interesting comparison. I felt like I was hitting the 9.5 degree drivers pretty good, and even the 8.5, I felt like I smoked a couple of those. So 2 longest at 10.5, I think it's kind of clear. Now, out of the fairways hit, I hit 3 out of 4 fairways with the 10.5 degree driver. I hit 2 out of 4 with the 9.5, and I only hit 1 out of 4 with the driver set at 8.5. I think that's pretty interesting also. 3 fairways hit with 10.5, 2 at 9.5, 1 at 8.5. I'm going to go inside. I'll hit maybe 6 drives with each loft and see what I get there. I'll be right back. Now it's time to do the indoor testing. We're going to hit 4 drives, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5. I know it's a small sample size, but I think it'll be enough to see what we should do going forward. At least narrow it down. Check it out. Okay guys, so first let's look at the launch. The launch of the 8.5 was 13.2, 9.5 15.2, and 10.5 16.6. I think the optimum launch for me is probably around 15 to 16 degrees, somewhere in there. So the 8.5 was definitely too low. Looking at the spin, the 8.5 1991, 9.5 2141, and the 10.5 2336. There's no doubt I do not have enough speed to deal with a driver that has 1991 spin or even 2141. So the 10.5 is closest. I'm thinking the optimum spin for me is probably around 2500. So the 10.5 was closest there in the launch. The 9.5 maybe, or the 10.5, could go either way. Now looking at the carry distance, the 8.5 203, because it just did not have enough spin, did not have enough launch to keep the ball in the air, 203 carry distance. The 9.5 and 10.5 both were at 218. The total distance, 8.5 228, the 9.5 244, and the 10.5 241. So it's very clear that the 8.5 is not providing enough spin and is not providing a high enough launch at my swing speed. So I will do some more testing to see if the 9.5 or the 10.5 is better for me. The other thing is this driver is a low spin model. One of the subscribers actually pointed out I probably don't have enough swing speed to swing that low spin driver, and I'm kind of thinking he's right. I think my optimum spin is closer to 2500 to 2700. So unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to go back, switch this head out, and I may get it set at 10.5 degrees. That way I could go down to 9.5 or up to an 11.5 and test those out. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of the video. We're going to continue our driver testing. I'll keep you updated. I do need to get to doing the wedge testing that CBX versus the RTX6 wedges. That video will come out soon. And also have a practice round that I play for the mid-amateur that'll be coming up also. My game has been really struggling lately, but I will get out of it. Hopefully May is a good month. I plan on working on it, and we'll get this thing figured out. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, Mr. Short Hitter, out.
5 holes to go, just play 13. Need a palm away in, gotta hit more greens. My game's obscene.